Hey, everybody, welcome to InsideFlix, and we're going to be doing our weekly box office report. Rich, tell us which films made the top 5 at the box office this past weekend.
Well, this past Father's Day weekend, Jurassic World once again made it to number 1 with 59 million. The percentage drop on that film was nearly 60%, which is expected, but the biggest disappointment was number 2 with Lightyear, Pixar's new film, with 50 million. And Top Gun Maverick came in number 3 with 44 million, only dropping 15%. Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness came in number 4 with 4.4 million. And the Bob's Burgers movie came in number 5 with 1.1 million.
Okay, let's quickly just talk about Jurassic World Dominion. What was the international numbers here?
The international number for the past weekend was 373 million. Well, it brought up to 373 million. And so far, worldwide, is 623 million.
Like you were talking about, this only dropped about 60%, which is kind of expected for a big budget studio movie. The thing we were talking about last week was that maybe this was going to even drop more because of the horrible reviews, and it was getting like kind of a bad word of mouth. But it's apparently that's not the case. I think audiences did have a fun time watching it.
Yeah, the franchise itself is just so wide that, I mean, it's just fandom's there.
Dinosaurs.
So,
it's all
yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the big disappointment of the weekend. Lightyear. This is the Pixar's latest film that's tied in with the Toy Story franchise.
Mm-hmm.
What's your feelings about why this became such a disappointment? I mean, with 50 million, that's lower than expected.
Yeah, and internationally, it only made a little over 33 million, and the worldwide total is 84 million. It's not that impressive at all, but hopefully it's got enough word of mouth that it'll stick in the top 5. Most kids movies nowadays, they do stick around, and we'll see if Lightyear has legs.
Lightyear did exactly on par or a little bit better than some of the recent animated films, but I think the concept of that movie is a little too confusing for kids. I mean, this whole idea that it's a film that ultimately produced the Buzz Lightyear toy, and this is actually kind of what Andy's favorite movie of all time. This is his version of Star Wars and all that.
Yeah.
That's hard to kind of explain to your child that what this movie is. So when you say this is a Buzz Lightyear movie, they don't see Tim Allen, or they don't hear Tim Allen, or they don't even see the original Buzz Lightyear design. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's perfectly fine. I think it's going to kind of have a little bit of legs, but I think once Minions comes on in a couple of weeks, it's just really going to blow that movie out of the water. And I think there's also a lot of different factors of why this particular movie didn't work.
Yeah, but I think I do think that it's going to have a little more legs than get totally kicked off by Minions. But by the Super Pets, by Super Pets for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the top 5 opening Toy Story movies, and you see that Toy Story 4, which was the last Toy Story film, that was the best in the franchise, where
That's
Lightyear landed at number 4. So I think Toy Story itself could come back and do another Toy Story 5 or whatever. But these kind of side stories, or these kind of like
spin-offs,
yes, these spin-offs are not working. I think what works is the Woody and the Buzz, and that's what they love. That's the core of this franchise.
Yeah, it's definitely more kid-friendly.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Top Gun Maverick. Go for it, Rich.
Well, domestically, it's doing fantastic, as we all know, but internationally, it's doing almost as good, which is surprising because internationally usually makes even more than domestic. So far, worldwide, it's 887 million, and now by the time we're recording this, it's been reported that it went over 900 million. It's now a global phenomenon, and
and this movie really seems like it's going to pass $1 billion.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the biggest box office movie, not just for the summer, but maybe even the year.
Oh yeah, it's the one to beat.
Yeah, I think the fact that it only dropped 15% this past weekend means that this was really the real Father Day's movie.
Yes, yeah.
Everyone went back to see this with their father on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at the top 10 domestic box office for 2022.
Yeah, Top Gun is the clear winner. Just surpassed Doctor Strange this week. I guess we'll see when Thor does in the top 10. And that's the only other film that I get to see it in, being much of a challenge for this year.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Thor's definitely probably be up there in the top 5. Definitely in the top 5. Most likely in the top 3 by the end of the summer. Well, let's look at the rest of the weekend results.
Okay, coming in number 6 was The Bad Guys, like I said. Number 7 was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 8 was Downtown Abbey: A New Era, and number 9 was Sonic the Hedgehog, and number 10 was the new indie film from Focus, Brian and Charles.
All right, let's look at what the films are opening this weekend.
It's Elvis, and that's Baz Luhrmann's new film starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks, and Black Phone, the new horror film starring Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, I think this weekend is going to be crowded with a lot of movies. You got Elvis, you got Black Phone, but I don't think none of these movies are going to break over 100. I think Elvis maybe has a good chance to be the number one film, just because of a lot of.
It's got a lot more word of mouth than Black Phone, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Black Phone is going to do a good amount of maybe like 20 to 30 million.
Yeah, it's a typical horror.
Right. Right. And I think Elvis is definitely has the word of mouth, like you were saying. It was promoted widely. Tom Hanks is everywhere. Austin Butler is everywhere. There's a lot of interest in this film. So I think, but it's still, because it's a biopic, it's a drama. It's what, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's a long movie.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to be up there around, I would say 70 to 60 million. I don't think it's going to break 80. It's definitely I think it's definitely going to be number one.
Yeah, I'll match you there. Maybe even less, 60, because Lightyear I expected a lot more, and it barely passed 50. So
yeah, it's all going to be like a log jam right there in number 1, 2, and 3 and 4, and so we'll see what comes out on top. All right. Thank you for watching InsideFlix. We'll be back next week to see the results and see if Elvis is
still the king.
all right. Bye bye.